Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and we are back with more reactions for Supergirl. This time on to episode number 16 of season 6. Last time we had some mostly awesome Danson and Esme stuff. Mostly awesome. I mean, they officially adopted her, so she moved in with them. She had her own room and everything with some awesome, like an awesome setup that Alex kind of worked her butt off to actually, to make comfortable and bright and colorful and happy looking and everything. Like painted like an awesome mural with Ms. Martian on it too. Ms. Martian was on there, so like an awesome mural there, and then like shelves for toys and just like an overall really kind of really great kind of environment for Esme to grow up in and everything. So that was cool. But then, of course, her powers were explored a bit more, especially after she almost fell through the kind of wall, having been near Jean and, involuntarily mimicking his powers of phasing. So then, because of that, they kind of decided to maybe help her understand what her powers are a bit more and maybe even actually learn to control them and stuff. So then Kara, being Auntie Kara as well, she was actually the first person to try that out with her and actually introducing her to the concept of superhearing. So didn't go too well. I mean, they started off nicely with some wings and heartbeats and stuff like that, and then it would eventually, descend into chaos and very, very loud and, traumatizing noises. So didn't work out too well in that regard, but by the end they did reach a nice peaceful resolution and did kind of encourage Esme to follow her own heart and see if she actually wanted to explore them and see how and when and do it in a way that she felt comfortable with. So that was cool. And she figured out Kara is Supergirl too, like right off the bat. This girl solves it in like within the first like 20-25 minutes actually meeting Kara and Supergirl, and senses the same powers coming from both, so then naturally deduces that Kara and Supergirl must be the same person, must be exactly identical. So wasn't really too difficult. So puts pretty much everyone else in the show to shame, just like that. So that was fun. So some Dancing and Esme goodness, that was really, really fun. We had that. We had the totem stuff. It was semi-interesting, I think they still kind of had to hunt down the rest of them and still had to stop Nixley from assembling them all and everything. And then by the end of it, she even tried to actually kidnap, she actually did kidnap William and tried to actually goad Supergirl into giving up her half of the totems in exchange for his life and everything. But then he tried his own thing and he, an effort was made, but then by the end of it, they did still get that one totem, and then they threw one of the totems in the sun. So, I mean, as long as one of the totems is destroyed, the rest of them can't be assembled, and the rest of them are pretty much kind of useless in the ultimate kind of end game. So then the totem stuff, I believe, at this point is now done with one of them having been literally yeeted into the sun, along with some nukes as well, some nukes that were going to destroy Kaznia. Supergirl saved Kaznia, which is a really awesome scene. So she flung the nukes and the totems one after the other into the sun. So the sun is the key. The sun was the key player in the last episode. So that was cool. So with that plan out the window, we then had the confirmation of the return of a character that left much earlier in the season, which was Lexi Boy Luther. He returned indirectly. He returned off screen. He kind of actually teleported in like a little gift from himself to Nixley, like a watch that transformed into a full-on Lexosuit for her personally, for Nixley personally. So, and he even signed himself off as kind of like her secret admirer because they both want to destroy Supergirl and they both consider her like natural enemies and everything. So he felt connected to her in that sense too. So there's that. So I don't know where they're going to go with that, if it's just going to be a suit or if it's actually going to be, anything else. But so far it's a suit. So far he's actually gifted her with a suit. So don't know if this is also going to be like suit specific to her too, if it's going to be one that actually utilizes her powers or if it's going to be more similar to his or what it's going to be. But I mean, given this a Lexus for her, I kind of trust that he would know about her and who she is and what she is and build a suit accordingly. But either way, he's gifted her a suit. So now Lex and Nixley are in the thick of it together. So that's going to be the team up to end off this series. So yeah, Lex is back. So we have that now. So he didn't really leave, definitely he didn't really leave without any indication of coming back. He did kind of leave in like a very, very abrupt manner, and he did leave with indications that he was going to return with something even bigger up his sleeve. So I guess this kind of new allegiance with Nixley is exactly what that trick is. So Yeah, so yeah, fun stuff. Really fun stuff. So only a few episodes left now. Only a handful of episodes left. I think episode 20 is the last one. Episode 20 is the last one. So yeah, just wow. Just wow. Yeah, so don't know what's gonna happen to any of us after this show ends. Don't know what the state of the fandom is gonna be like, but you know what? Hopefully it ends on a good note. Hopefully it ends, I mean, yeah, I mean, I want to say even if wishes don't get fulfilled, but then wishes kind of need to get fulfilled to, just do certain things. But then I don't know, at least like ending on a peaceful note is literally the bare minimum they can do. But the bare minimum is pretty much what they excel at these days. It's not really going forth and going higher than that. So yeah, bare minimum. I mean, we can expect that, but then can they even deliver on that? I guess only time will tell. But anyway, yeah, episode 6 of that was episode 15. So on to episode number 16 of this season. So on to the reaction, and you guys wanted to draw by now that this one will just be like highlights and best bits, but the full-length reaction, for which you will need your own copy of the episode to sync up with, will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there too. So yeah, Supergirl season 6 episode number 16. Let's go.
I took all of Mom's books and journals
and
research
shit.
with her.
I gotta say that Domestic Brainia, loving it. Domestic Brainia, loving
Perhaps
it.
we should consider a fresh start and try my spinach pancakes.
Spinach oh, Brainy, look, I love you, but no. Got spinach no, I refuse.
You should stick with it. Makes you better cook.
Really? Spinach pancakes? That actually works? Huh. Really? Spinach and pancakes? I mean, I was gonna say blueberry and muffins, but that always works.
This
You
is
do?
for you.
Gifts.
This
For
you.
Drawings. SMA's drawings. SMA's drawings. Oh, spot on. That is spot on. Dreamer. Brainy.
Kelly wants to give Esme
Calvin Town. Yeah, Jimmy. Meeting Jimmy. Meeting Uncle Jim.
What interview? Well, Casnia and Corder.
Damn, Lena looks good. Dr. M. Reve. Maeve? Maeve Reve? Maeve Reve. Maeve Reve. Oh boy. Oh god. I did not prepare myself for this.
Tracked me down. What I said to you at Mom's funeral.
Don't. I'm not here to talk about that.
My dream showed me that something here would lead me to the fifth dimension.
Oh, you can't blame her. You cannot blame her for not wanting to revisit that.
Yeah, that's like me asking you to tell me everything you know about journalism.
Okay.
I'm sure she could do that with enough time. I'm sure she could do that. I mean, because you have all the books, right? Oh shit, there's a lot of books.
All of them.
That's a lot of fucking books. I mean, I love to read, but that's a lot of fucking books. Again, don't get me wrong, I love to read, but
Cardinal rule of interviewing. Research, research, research.
Research. Oh, that's adorable.
Created a machine to get into the dream realm. All you need to do is
The dream
access the
realm.
machine and you can use
That's just where you go when you sleep then. When you dream, you go into the dream realm. Yeah, even humans can access it, but just not as powerfully as actual dreamers. Oh boy, oh yeah, oh she has the same...
dream energy hand to create the portal.
Oh, dream energy. Oh, she has a dream gauntlet too. She has a dream gauntlet. Oh, oh. What the hell is that? Is that like some kind of sleep paralysis demon? It could genuinely pass for a sleep paralysis demon.
Brainy just updated us. You're chasing a nightmare monster?
A nightmare monster. Sleep paralysis demon does sound like, accurate.
I could put up a dome that not even that creature could get through.
Okay, well, that'll trap that thing in with half the city.
Do we have a choice?
Supergirl?
Either contain it or risk it getting to the nuclear stuff. Yeah. I mean, if you contain it, you have a much better chance of fighting it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it split the coffee vendor in half. It split the coffee van in half. Oh no. Okay. Well, again, you contain it, you have a better chance of, yeah. Oh, and this, it's invisible. Oh. Well, that's not great.
It's a medieval tapestry that supposedly depicts the Oracle's original instructions. Allegedly, it can be deciphered only by one of pure heart,
Pure heart.
mind, and sight.
Oh, pure heart, mind,
Do you
and sight.
understand all this? She said it would help light up my dreams back when everyone thought I'd be the dreamer.
Oh.
It didn't do that, but
Having something to guide you during unknown times.
it is. Especially when your whole world gets flipped upside down because someone's keeping secrets.
So what does the dream mean?
How long is this gonna go on for? Oh, Dreamer news articles. Oh.
You kept news clippings about me?
I might be furious with you. You are still my sister.
She's been keeping track of her adventures, of her superhero
To take all of these?
capades.
I just want to text Brainy and let him know the plan. My boyfriend, he's a 12th level intellect.
Oh god, the way she flaunts that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I have a boyfriend now and he's super smart.
You know it wouldn't kill you to crack open a book every once in a while?
Okay, Maeve, if you're such an expert, how do you access the dream
Don't turn this around on me.
Stop.
Oh,
You
the
stop.
necklace.
Your necklace is glowing.
Is the tree the totem? Is the totem in the tree?
What do you think it means?
Or is it does the tree hold a key? Oh. Oh, secret door. Secret door. Yes, love a secret door. Whoa. That must be the expanse. The dream expanse. Damn, this place looks rad. So glowy. Yeah.
My opinion is not the issue. What matters is the actions of the countries.
Oh, he's actually putting on an accent and a face and everything.
Okay, I guess I
Remember,
could.
don't let them duck the question.
He's wearing a name tag. Oh god.
William, his other plans got canceled because of this ridiculous dome. Meeting's at 2 this afternoon at Noonan's on Main.
Yeah,
How
of course.
fortuitous.
Yes, I will be there.
And a
Thank
nightmare
you.
creature gave her the opportunity she needed.
Really are having a day of days, aren't you?
Now I'm hearing stories that employees are being cut off from work, parents separated from children. I just hope.
What does that have to do with the Super Friends?
Come to that.
Why would parents losing their kids be on the Super Friends? Why are people losing their jobs be on the Super Friends?
Trust is hard, but maybe take a look around the corner.
Is she gonna run into Nia and Maeve? Because Nia's not even suited up as a dreamer in this. She's just Nia. Not that there's anything wrong with just Nia, but still, Nia, not dreamer.
If you take that dome down, it's going to go straight back for the plant, making matters even worse.
Yes, worse.
Than trapping thousands of citizens in a bubble with some other dimensional terror?
It's a temporary
The phone is
measure.
ringing off the hook.
24 hours.
You have 12.
Oh god, of course, you just had to Thanos it. You just had to pull a Thanos. Yeah.
Just wish we could get a better view. I may have a way.
Oh. Are they gonna start levitating? Oh, they're gonna start levitating. Oh, they can fly. Oh, she can fly. Oh, it's like a levitating like pad almost. That is so cool. That is so cool. Can she see Nixley from up there? Can she see Nixley?
Did Mom teach you how to do this?
No, I figured it out by myself. So do
She can
you
do that.
see any
She can do
spires that
things.
look bigger than the others?
No.
We found it. We did.
Great. And no, you can. Oh, okay. That's gonna be even worse though. If you can't actually stick with the happiness and stick with the teamwork, then. I mean, I get they can't move past things immediately, but still, you can cherish the teamwork while it lasts. I think. I don't know. I guess maybe it's them.
I don't get upset when you disappear for weeks on end saying you're working on a huge story with Cat Grant only to return empty-handed. Because your work is usually flawless. You're not here, and it's beginning to show. You told me that an interview showing these two leaders coming together peacefully could inspire the world.
It can. It will.
Then start acting like it.
Oh, this
30 minutes.
This 2 lives thing is tearing her apart. This whole separate lives thing is tearing her the fuck apart.
The people need to hear from the girl of steel herself.
No, I don't have time to make comments. I'm sorry.
You can look. You need a super friend statement. That would still work. So go with Alex and John. Oh, protective charms. Protective charms. Oh no, suiting up as Dreamer. Oh, she does have the suit. She brought the suit with her somehow. Okay, that's cool. That was such a cool suit up. That was such a flashy. Oh, God, that was amazing. Oh, that was amazing.
You are a traitor to your blood, trying to take our power for your own.
Oh, she's not pure of mind.
It was supposed to be mine.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, she's not.
I worked my entire life towards becoming the Dreamer. Every decision I ever made was for that. It was my purpose, my identity.
She's not pure of mind or soul or heart.
I didn't have a choice. That I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, that I'm in over my head? Honesty, finally. Oh, you want honesty? I have no pity for you.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry that you wasted all of those years reading all of those books, assuming with no cause, by the way, that you'd be the Dreamer. But look at yourself, Maeve. You were willing to put the entire universe at stake so you could take the powers. Are you really that selfish? Do you think that's what the Dreamer would do? You don't think I deserve these powers? You don't think I'm a real woman? Well, I don't care. I know who I am. I am the Dreamer.
Pop off, Nia, no.
The question is, who are you? Because you are clearly not the sister that I thought you were.
Oh, boy.
Am I interrupting a family fight or something?
Kind of, yeah. Oh, God. She popped off like a damn corn kernel. Or something else that pops off. I don't know. I'm too overwhelmed. Oh, God. Oh, yes. Dream Shield. Dream Shield.
We can be just us girls.
Oh, God. Oh, no. She can still get the totem.
Mom said it could light up my dreams. Maybe it can give you the extra power you need.
Oh, the necklace, yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, yellow. Oh, it's gold and blue. It's gold and blue.
It's for using me. And this is for hurting my friends.
Oh, my God. She is killing it. Dreamer is fucking killing it. Oh, damn right, you can't. Oh, God, wait, did she still have the totem? Or did she leave it behind? Either way, that was fucking badass. That was.
Prime Minister and the President are running late.
Oh.
No worries.
Okay, they're running late this time. Oh, jeez. That looks so creepy. Looks so creepy. And the Air Force is here. The Air Force is here. Oh.
Stop this now! You're drawing him away from where he needs to go.
They need to send him back into the dream realm. Oh, God damn it. There we go. There we go. Oh, just in time. Oh, just in time. Literally just in the nick of time.
I thought you said they were late.
Not that late. When they couldn't find you, they left.
Oh,
Roja said she tried calling you.
Oh, she's not going to be happy. Andre is not going to be happy. Oh my God, 3 missed calls. Oh, missed calls, messages, just everything. Oh God,
Supergirl.
Jesus.
You can have it all. You just can't have it all at the same time. So, maybe ask yourself, what does Kara Danvers want right now?
Peace?
Figure that out.
You were right, Andrea. I'm not here. Not fully. And there's too much at stake for that right now. So,
Is she quitting?
I quit.
She's quitting! She's quitting Catco! Oh, and she's gonna do a flyaway.
William,
Huh.
I should have taken you up on your offer to talk directly to the people. But maybe it's not too late to fix that.
Kara quits Catco after all these years. She quits Catco. Ah.
I'm sorry for trying to steal the totem, for abandoning you. I never thought you weren't a real woman. I wanted you to be in as much pain as I was. But seeing you today, your abilities, your selflessness, you are the dreamer. You always have been. Forgive me.
Maeve, you may have spent your life studying to be the dreamer, but I spent mine trying to make you happy. You were my best friend, and you tore me down like it was nothing. And then you ran away. You can't erase what you did, Maeve. Because of your actions, we both had to grieve Mom alone. And I had to learn these powers that I didn't ask for alone. I needed you. If it wasn't for Kara and Brainy, I would have been completely lost. So no, I can't forgive you.
That's fair. That is fair. Fair from both sides.
But I can offer you a second chance.
A second chance?
A final chance.
Makes sense. Very much makes sense.
For us to be sisters again.
Mm.
Hey, you should have this.
Oh, the necklace. The dream necklace.
I know you have always placed your hope and trust in me, but now, as we face the alien you know as Nixley, I fear I haven't always been able to deliver. Nixley will be stopped, no matter the cost.
Is it Nixley from the future?
What are you?
The key to your success.
Oh, how the hell did that bring Lex into fruition? How did that bring Lex to life? God, these endings honestly raise more questions than answers. These endings honestly, and just in like the most confusing ways. In the most confusing ways. God damn. Nia Nal. She popped off. She popped off. That is not a phrase I use often to describe anything or anyone, but she, you know, I think off the top of my head, that's the most accurate phrase I can come up with. She popped off. She popped off. Like, I honestly just can't even come with, like I came up with like corn kernel during the reaction, but then even then that just felt kind of weird, so I can't even come with an actual comparison. But she popped off. She popped off like nothing else has ever popped off before. Like no one else has ever popped off. Well, several people, but like, you know. Point is, she was amazing. Point is, this was a really, really fantastic Nia-centric episode. Nicole Maines just she doesn't know how to not kill it. She doesn't know how to not kill it. She doesn't know how to not succeed. You know, she really brought everything. She really brought her A game and her end game in this episode. She really, you know, like brought everything to the table as Nia, and really didn't really fail to actually leave like a positive and lasting mark. And I'd say that's just what she's done with the character as a whole. With the character as a whole, she has actually, you know, embodied it and really made like Nia. So and I mean, considering that the character is like an original based off of Dream Girl from the comics as well, like she's actually like actually created Dreamer and embodied Dreamer and played Dreamer so well that, you know, like Nia Nal herself has actually then been integrated into the comics as an actual comic canon character too. So, you know, she knows no bounds. Her power, her levels just know no bounds. They know no bounds. So seeing her actually playing her so eloquently and so powerfully in this is just something to really admire and to look back and smile on and stuff. So, and I think that the same can be said like for her entire arc throughout this show. So, you know, and I think that just kind of really, you know, pushes me to really want like a happy ending for her too. I think because the past few episodes I've been saying like, oh yeah, give us the Dreamer spin-off, give us the Sentinel and Guardian spin-off, give us all three of them together. But then I think like the way things are going now, it's like, you know, like literally less than nothing is being said. Even the actresses themselves aren't really teasing anyone. They're not really kind of showing anything. So I think the way things are going now, it's chances are their stories end with this. It's just like chances are like their stories end with this show and with the final episode of this show. So at this point, the best I can hope for, a happy ending for her, and, you know, like a happy ending for Dreamer, and just like, you know, like the I think maybe leave it open ended for the chance for fans to be able to express themselves in whatever media they create, be it fanfic or art or whatever. Just like leave it open ended in that sense, but then, you know, like still like leave it with a happy ending that Nia herself can actually cherish and can leave fans with like some sense of satisfaction that she's headed to brighter places and she's headed to brighter pastures and everything. So yeah, just wow. She was just wow. She was just wow throughout this whole episode. So yeah, I think even the episode actually starting off with some domestic Brainiac, that was a really great touch. It was a really nice touch, and I will say I mean, I do wonder how much more time Jesse Rath has to actually spend in the makeup chair, getting painted green and wearing that kind of blonde wig and everything. Or like, I don't know if he actually colors his hair. I think chances are it's a blonde wig because I think he's naturally like a brunette or like a dark brown. But either way, I'm wondering like how much more time he has to spend in the chair now, getting painted green and everything. And I mean he wears clothes, so I don't know, he wears clothes or a suit, either way, so I don't know if it would be like a full body thing or just like the upper body or just like the arms and face and everything, but either way, I do love that Brainy himself is actually so much more comfortable being his own actual skin color now. He's actually more comfortable being his own natural color himself. Like, it's something really kind of cool and really kind of like sweet to see about that too. Like him actually being open and him being openly alien and him being openly like himself and everything. It's like a really kind of, you know, I want to say empowering thing too, because I think it just feels good to see a character being that open and not feeling like the need to put on like inhibitors or feeling the need to actually put on like some other kind of humanizing disguise or anything. Like, and I think it being in a show about aliens who, you know, like it being in a show about an alien who is also fighting to empower other aliens to live as freely and as openly as they'd like, it's good to see one of the actual super friends actually being that way too. Like, I mean, and I think it's also very much a choice, like very much a choice thing too. Like Jean still maintains his own kind of human disguise too, which is, you know, like his own choice. And I think also based on the stuff we discussed, the stuff that they discussed in the blind spots episode too, is also like a choice that he respects and a choice that he knows the hardship of and everything. So seeing like Brainy kind of like making that choice for himself is like a really cool thing to see, and he rocks it too. He rocks like, you know, like he, you know, wears like you know, like shirts that aren't fully buttoned up, and he kind of wears them in like a casual way, and he rocks the entire kind of natural look and everything. So he looks great. And I think just seeing domestic Brainy in the morning at her apartment and just, you know, making, I mean, the one thing I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't even say I can't forgive it. It's just like the one thing that just kind of just can't really get past me. I just can't really get past is the spinach pancakes. I mean, Nia tried it, and she said it was, and she said it was great, and she even said, like, you know, like he should actually kind of, you know, take on the whole green kind of look, like his natural Collyman look a bit more, because then it makes him a better cook and everything. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Spinach in pancakes. It's like there's. I mean, listen. Right, I think sweet and savory is as acquired of taste as they come. Sweet and savory tastes are as acquired as they come. Some stuff really works well. Some stuff really doesn't work well. Pineapple on pizza. But, you know, spinach in pancakes, like pancakes are like inherently sweet kind of foods, and spinach not so much. You know, not to say that you can't sweeten spinach with something like some kind of seasoning or something, but even then, that's like in savory food. So, like, you know, like spinach and pancake. I don't know. I mean, you know, like, because I mean, you know, people turn green vegetables into smoothies and milkshakes and all sorts of different kind of health drinks all the time. So I guess I think this might join that kind of pantheon. Like, you probably get like a spinach and broccoli milkshake, or like some kind of like, you know, like green smoothie or froth or something. So I think the spinach pancakes might join that kind of pantheon of, like, you know, don't. I think how does the saying go? I mean don't judge a book by its cover, or like don't kill it till you try it, or like don't drop it till you try. I think there's some kind of, you know, phrase about, you know, like not you know, like letting something go until you at least try it first. So I guess this might join that kind of category. So yeah, and I think, again, she liked it, and I think I have reason, you know, I think there's reason to believe that Nia wouldn't really have like a terrible palate or like a bad palate when it comes to food. You know, she loves food almost as much as Kara, I believe. So, you know, I think getting Kara to test it would probably be the ultimate thing. I mean, Kara loves food. So I think, you know, she and I think her favorites being pot stickers, of course. Which, again, I mean, that is its own kind of like naturally created kind of you know, thing. I mean, I think actually, no, I think I actually did read about like an interesting history to pot stickers, that they were actually like overcooked dumplings or something. I don't know how true that is. I actually read like a story about like how they were initially overcooked dumplings, but then the people, I think it was like an ancient in ancient China. I think pot stickers come from China, right? I think the pot stickers are Chinese food. So in ancient China, like some cooks were trying to make it for like an emperor or something, and then it went wrong. Like, they overcooked it, but then if they told him that, he'd be disappointed and probably punish them. So then they instead just said that they invented something new called pot stickers. So apparently that's where it comes from. I don't know. I think I vaguely remember I vaguely remember reading something about it online somewhere. So, you know, do not quote me on the legitimacy of that or anything. But, you know, anyway, Kara loves food. So her and Nia would be the ultimate. I feel like the ultimate kind of taste testers, and legitimizers of that kind of a delicacy. So yeah, but either way, spinach pancakes. So domestic Brainia, awesome to see. Moving forward, yeah, the whole Nia and Maeve content. So I think anyone who had actually watched that episode of season 4, and anyone who knew their backstory and actually seen the previous episode with them, I think what surprised me was that she was going to be in it. I think she actually did like show up in the recap and everything, but then it's like, I don't know if that meant we would actually properly see her, or if that would like actually instigate any actual kind of interaction or something, or if it was just like a reminder of what she encountered last time she was in Pathos. But no, Nia actually sees her, the university where she works at in her dream vision, and then she actually tracks it down, and then she finds out, oh, Dr. M. Reve is Dr. Maeve Reve. She changed her name and moved, and now she works at university and everything and stuff. So yeah, then they encounter each other, and then that's when that reunion happens. So then at that point, it's like, anyone who definitely wasn't expecting that reunion to happen is like, oh shit, here we go again. Just, that's just that meme. Oh shit, here we go again. So yeah, then it's like all the memories come flooding back, and the past experiences come flooding back. Even as a viewer, you remember what's actually already happened, and what happened literally last time they were face to face, and how the last interaction ended, and then now they're coming back, and this happens. So yeah, I think at that point it's like, at that point it's just like me wondering, like, okay, how tense is this gonna be? Is it gonna be like, that like very very reluctant, like very very reluctant and very very kind of sidetracked kind of teamwork, or is this going to be like, arguments every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, or like how civil can this be? At least how civil can this really be? So yeah, and then Maeve keeps like Dreamer news clippings too. Maeve actually keeps her news clipping from Dreamer's like superhero escapades and everything, like from all of her adventures, and all the times that Dreamer has actually been part of the headline, and she's actually been front and center of the news, like as one of the super friends and everything. So she's actually keeping news clippings from Dreamer's thing. So that was a surprise. And then she actually justifies it by, I might be furious with you, but you're still my sister, and I still care, and I still want to know what you're up to and how you're doing and all that kind of stuff. So then she's still keeping track of her exploits, and I think still kind of seeing exactly what she is getting up to with her powers and how she's using them and everything, and still, I mean, she never explicitly stated it either, but I think I'm kind of wondering if she is kind of deep down proud too, because Nia mentioned it in this episode, but like by the name Dreamer as well. But I don't know if I can't remember if they actually mentioned it in the season 4 episode. But I think, like, does whoever gets the powers actually become Dreamer? Like, I think from what I can recall, Dreamer is the actual superhero identity that Nia herself has adopted because of the powers, and she was even given what I'm remembering is her mother's old suit. So like her mother used to be a Dreamer too, but then was her mother still a superhero? Or like did she still use her powers in that way, or because Nia having these powers and having these abilities allows her to use those powers for good, and like Nia having these powers that allows her to fight the way she does, but then it's also combined with her drive to be a superhero, like her connection with the super friends, her drive to be like them, her drive to work with them. That also encourages her to be a superhero. But then I don't know if the Dreamer thing is actually inherently like a superhero role given to the women of Noltor, or if it's just like a because if you have those powers and you can do those things, then obviously you'd probably still think of yourself as a superhero, and you'd probably still kind of eventually come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, I can totally fight crime, I can totally save people with these. So if Maeve had gotten the powers, like would she then become like a Dreamer in that sense? Like would she actually go out and start fighting crime, or would she just kind of would she just know what to do with them in like an everyday sense? I think, because then I guess it might be judging by the book a little bit, but I honestly can't really imagine Maeve still maybe wearing the suit. But I can't really imagine her actually going out and fighting crime like that. I think she from all the episodes that we've seen her in, like she's never actually she's always talked about having the powers, and she's always talked about actually and she's shown like a clear understanding and a clear knowledge of how the powers work, but then she's never really kind of spoken about being Dreamer, actually going out and saving people, or actually doing that kind of thing. So I think it kind of makes me wonder, did Nia make the dreamer that we know now that the Nia is like is that what dreamer has always been, or is that what Nia has actually made her out to be now? Because like now again, like her connection to the Super Friends, her working with Kara, and like her working with Supergirl and Sentinel and Guard and everything, like she works with them, she knows them, they know her, they love her, they trust her, and she's a part of their team and everything. So because of that, she's able to be a superhero. But then, does that mean that the role of Dreamer, like the existence and the identity of Dreamer, is inherently a superhero thing or something? So I don't know, because then the Dreamer power, the Dreamer powers too, they actually allow you to contact the dream world, to actually draw on dream powers. But then she also has her own like little gauntlet that allows her to summon dream energy, so that actually allows her to somewhat weaponize it as an offensive and a defensive at the same time. So I do wonder if like a dreamer without those gauntlets could still do the same thing. Because I think the gauntlet also, I think the gauntlet as well is actually something that Brainy made. I think I'm pretty sure Brainy made the actual gauntlet for her, but then the suit is actually her mother's old suit, like the Notorian suit. Like the suit itself didn't come with the gauntlet, but then the gauntlet was actually created by Brainy to help her actually manifest her powers and actually harness them properly and everything. So yeah, and again, I can't really see Maeve in that position. Like I can see her using her powers the way that she was taught to by her mother, and the way that she's researched them. But then I can't really see her actually going out and suiting up and fighting crime. Like she's never really talked about that. She's never really expressed those kind of dreams as only being able to use the powers that she's in the way that she studied. But I kind of doubt that like all that kind of old Norton I'm kind of doubting that the old Norton, like all the Nortorian like law books that she has, say anything about saving people and protecting them and actually going out and fighting monsters or anything. So I don't know, like I feel like that kind of thing is something that Nia herself has actually created. Like that kind of image, that kind of identity, that kind of purpose is something that Nia has discovered and embraced and fully empowered herself through. So in that way, Nia was literally born to be Dreamer. Like she was always going to have that fight in her from day one, from becoming who she really is to fighting for that identity and then becoming Dreamer and everything. Like she was always going to have that fight in her, and then actually seeing other people in danger, she was always going to want to protect them and to be the hero that they need to. So she, I think naturally in that instance, I think like in that instance, she was born to be the Dreamer. And I think that could also, I think like in a sense, in a sense, maybe in a bit of a reachy sense because of like time and just because of time and maybe hindsight and everything. But I think in a sense, maybe that's also why she was born to actually be the Dreamer that would protect other people too. So I mean, Dream Girl in the future might be a superhero too, but then maybe in this instance, like she's a superhero because this Dreamer was a superhero. So maybe like that is Nia's legacy, actually creating a version of Dreamer that later on down the line helps to encourage future Dreamers and future women of her bloodline to actually pick up the mantle in the same way. And maybe that's even how Dream Girl in the future, like what's her name, Nia Nal in the Legend of Superheroes, like maybe that's how she becomes a superhero too, because then she discovers that her ancestor Nia Nal actually created actually forged Dreamer to be more of a superhero than those before her and everything. So Nia's again just making waves and actually changing, actually rebranding the future and actually changing it for the better and actually creating something new with this role. So she's she's actively helped save lives time and time again, and she's done some great things with the Super Friends, and she has made Dreamer something to be really proud of, and everything. So yeah, so I think because of that, I think again like Nia may just have been born to be the Dreamer. She may have just been born to be the Dreamer. So yeah. And then we explored the dream expanse too, the dream realms. I mean, the dream realms. I mean, even humans can access it at the Dream Institute. That scientist dude actually invented like the machine that could help humans access the dream realm. And honestly, I mean, when you put it like that, because I think it honestly just sounds more like a machine that you can use to analyze brain patterns and sleep patterns when you're actually dreaming. So when humans go to sleep, when they access the dream realm, that's pretty much just dreaming. That's just what I like in the fiction of the story itself. Like that's just when you're dreaming. So the dream realm is like an actual separate dimension that exists, but then it's temporarily opened up when humans go to sleep, or maybe when creatures in general go to sleep and they start dreaming. Or even having nightmares too, like nightmare. I think that nightmare creature was so fucking creepy. That nightmare creature was just it just kept on growing and growing, and it was just like so shadowy and so, for a split second it looked like it was made of gravitonium from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, for the most part, it's just like a really shadowy kind of creature, and it's really kind of inherently kind of creepy and really, just chilly and everything. So they handled that great. They handled that stuff great, even in spite of the actual kind of dome stuff and the people getting pissed off, and even the governor getting pissed off and everything. So everyone was pissed off. Everyone was just pissed off about that, but they handled it well. So that was fun. But yeah, no, the stuff, the dream realm stuff. So I think so the scientist guy actually invented the machine that would allow you to actually enter the dream realm and everything. So the dream realm, I mean, the dream realm itself is is similar to it's not similar. It's exactly the place that we saw Nia last when she encountered Nixley. It's the exact place where Nixley first encountered Nia and started manipulating her into helping her and everything. So it's like the same kind of misty kind of forest and everything, where the Owl of Wisdom, God rest its soul, formerly reside. I don't think the Owl of Wisdom is actually dead. Like I think surely it can be remanifested, or like Isabel Knoll can actually like remanifest herself as like an Owl of Wisdom at some point again. But either way, it's the same forest. But then once they found the actual magical tree with the key and everything, they actually opened up the secret door. Then that door led into the Dream Expanse and everything. And wow, the Dream Expanse looks fucking flashy as all hell. Like it just has like it's like an endless kind of darkish kind of platform with all these different dream spires actually popping up and everything. So I don't know if they actually explored what those dream spires do, or what they're like there for, or what their purpose is. But either way, I mean. Again, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that scene to see if they did explain it. But I think at the end, given how many there are, I think it might just be a containment of the dreams of all the different occupants, like all the different creatures that actually go to sleep and access the dream realm and actually access the dream expanse. Like I think those spires might be containing their dreams, or containing like the different kind of like entities or spirits or souls or whatever. But the dream expanse is also a much more precious location, because it was also the actual location of the dream totem, within which the Oracle had actually hidden the dream totem. So it was a very special place in that sense. And then Nia unlocked all sorts of cool different powers, using the like connecting herself to the dream necklace, and actually using all sorts of powers, actually levitating her and Maeve up to like the sky of the dream expanse, and even actually her suit up. Her suit up was all kinds of twirly and flashy and color, and just so cool to see. And I think I did not really think that she would need her suit for this. I think her going to Parthas, I didn't really think she would really take her suit for that. But I mean, I guess like any good superhero would always carry their suit on them in some way in case of an emergency. So again, just Nia Nal just actually absolutely nailing it at the superhero game. So she definitely brought it with her. I think her suit up as well. I kind of want to believe that maybe Brainy had some kind of input in that, because I think Brainy has kind of helped Brainy and Lena both. I think Lena made Alex's Sentinel suit for her, that she actually keeps like locked up in like a materialization kind of thing, and then even Brainy actually made the smaller suit for. I think I was back in season 5, even pre-Crisis, but I don't know if it would still count for now. But I think Brainy did make the suit for Kara that helped her suit up whenever she took off her glasses and everything. So there was that. But I think I'm kind of wondering maybe if Brainy had any input at all, or if that was similar to the levitation thing, if that was actually something that Nia had actually come up with herself, like a way to suit up in like building up like a little kind of twirly pod of dream energy, and then it actually comes down again, and she just actually fully dressed up as a dream and everything. Like, it was just so cool. That was so damn cool. But yeah, the dream expanse, I think throughout both of those scenes, Nia and Maeve just kind of I think Nia and Maeve had on and off teamwork, and just kind of like not being too good at the small talk. I think Nia more than most. I think understandably Nia more than most, not really being kind of like too comfortable staying there for too long, especially with Maeve, and just kind of wanting to get this thing over and done with it, and not wanting to reminisce on the past too much, or wanting to reminisce too much. She was very reluctant to really engage in too much small talk, or to actually engage in too much peace. I mean, the actual happy moments between them were still kind of fairly nice to see, but then I think I think the whole point of them quickly snapping out of that and snapping back from that was also to show that you can't really move on from the past too much, and you can't really forget what's already been said and done. So, in that sense, it kind of made sense to see. But then still, I think the optimist in me still kind of wanted to see them two kind of actually having like lasting happy moments and having lasting kind of moments of peace between them and stuff. But I think for the most part there was still some like diplomacy. I mean, they weren't really at each other's throats every 10 minutes, but I think that there was still like that kind of silent tension you could cut with like a butter knife between them and everything, and like the most obvious kind of tension between them. So I think that much kind of made sense. So, and then the truth, and I think the hint might have been there from the beginning when like Maeve herself said it. Literally, I think the irony of that too. The irony of that, Maeve herself told, like in her office, she told Nia that the totem can only be truly wielded by someone of pure heart, mind, and sight, with pure heart, mind, and sight. Only with someone the purest and clearest of all of those three kind of elements of self could truly wield the power, or could be allowed to wield the power of the dream totem, because I think it gives you unlimited access to dream powers and to the power of the dream realm and everything. So only someone who's worthy. It's basically like the Mjolnir of the dream realm, and only someone who's actually completely worthy of those powers with the best intentions can use it. So the irony of Maeve herself actually saying that and then being rejected at the end is just beautiful. I think if you actually look at it in the right way, it's actually beautiful. And to see that, like the closer they get, but then also by the time they actually get into that room, by the time they get into that kind of chamber to hold the dream totem, and then Maeve herself sees it and she's just overcome with that kind of greed and that kind of pain and that kind of like that kind of overall greed and need to actually have the dream powers for herself despite everything that's happened. It's just like, you said it yourself, and you even know it yourself, like deep down but you still wanted to try and risk it, and then you're just exposed by the voice. Like she's exposed by the voice of the gauntlet. She's exposed by the voice that she's actually saying, like, you are not, you are not pure of heart, mind, and soul. You want to take these powers for yourself. You want to take these powers for yourself, even though you don't deserve them. And that's just one of the many things that actually deems you unworthy and everything. So. I think it's the fact that she was. I don't know if she actually knew that she would. I don't know if she knew that voice would come up and say those things. But then I think deep down she still knew she was unworthy because of all the things that she felt and all the things that she had done in the past and everything. But then deep down she was still willing to risk it just because she was that overcome with pain and greed and everything. So that whole scene again. That whole scene. Nicole Maines ate it up. Nicole Maines gobbled it up. She gobbled up that script and. Just projected just something amazing. She projected amazing. It's easy to say like some of the best acting she's done in her entire run on this show. I sincerely hope she gets more roles after this, because she absolutely deserves them. And I think it definitely also kind of I don't know. I think I know the actress who plays Maeve. I think her name is Hannah something. I think her first name might be Hannah. I could be wrong. I could be really wrong. I think Hannah rings a bell. I think because I know they're. I think deep. I think the thing is, right, I think as hard to watch as their relationship might be in the episode, I think like the actresses are actually both really really good friends in real life. They're actually really close. They're actually really good friends. I think it's actually surprising to see like the pain, but I mean it's good to see. I think it actually shows off their skills and their talents on screen really fluently. But then it's also like surprising to see them both so pained and hurtful towards each other. But then in real life they are actually really supportive of each other and really really great friends in real life and stuff, like really supportive of each other on like social media and everything. So seeing that and then seeing this is like a surprising kind of twist. But then it's like, of course, and like anyone knows is acting, so you got to put your heart into it and put everything into it. So it's actually really surprising to see that. But then in real life they are like super duper close and super supportive of each other. So pretty much like sisters in real life, but just much, much happier and much, much more kind of authentic and, supportive and everything. So that's kind of good to see. But yeah, but then again, like it's not purely just on Nicole's end. Like it's actually like the back and forth between the two of them. It's also like the equalized performing capabilities of the both of them, kind of that make that scene so real. Like it's actually like you know, it's not just Nia's pain, but it's also Maeve's pain. It's Maeve and Nia's pain, and their kind of words actually going like bouncing off of one another. It's their pain bouncing off of each other that actually makes that scene work. It's actually Maeve's backstory that actually makes that scene work just as much as Nia's backstory and everything. So both of them really put their all into it, and both of them made it as amazing as it was. But goddamn, yeah, that scene, just, you know, like, Maeve actually finally get, like, Maeve seeing the Dream Totem and giving in. Maeve seeing the Dream Totem and giving into her power and actually, and regurgitating all of her thoughts, and actually regurgitating all the stuff that she said before, and actually bouncing back onto that kind of stuff, like, oh, you don't deserve these powers, you didn't work for them, I worked for these powers, I studied my whole life because I believed I was going to get them, so I'm the one who deserves the totem, not you. And then by the time the true colors are revealed, Nia has had enough. Nia has actually had enough. I think that's one of the things I actually love the most about the scene, because then, you know, it's not just Nia just pointlessly shouting or, you know, scolding. It's like at that point she has had enough. Like, it was actually hard enough for her to actually kind of put on like a happy kind of facade at points throughout this entire kind of throughout their time during this episode. But then by the time she sees Maeve like reverting back to her old kind of pitiful and kind of, you know, self-pitying kind of self, she's had enough. She is, you know, like she knows who she is, and I think just her dialogue during that entire scene, just wowzer, just her, you know, pretty much like reclaiming herself, her own identity, and even actually scolding Maeve for actually being this way too. Like, and I think deep down, like, there's a chance that I think she can still understand where Maeve's pain actually comes from. Like, you know, the fact that, you know, like, Maeve still kind of studied her ass off to actually be able to understand these powers by the time she got them. But then it's also like a good enough point wherein it's like, you know, she believed these powers were hers without any actual cause. Like, I think she I'm trusting that her mother did actually say that it could actually end up with either one of you. I think because I think she did end up having 2 daughters. I think I'm trusting that like her mother did actually tell her by that point that, you know, it could be either one of you. Then like either one of you could get those powers. So don't really kind of hype yourself up too much, thinking that you're the be all and end all of all the dreamers to come before you or anything. So, you know, I think Nia actually had like a pretty good point there, being like, you know, you believe these powers were yours, you know, unconditionally without any actual probable cause, and then once your expectations weren't met, you just got all hissy about it and just, you know, started, you know, spewing out random shit without caring about the after effect. And then even then you didn't even bother to actually, you know, apologize or do anything. You just kind of ran away with your pain and decided to actually kind of abandon it all, and abandoning Nia too. So her dialogue, like everything she said in that scene was nothing but the truth, and she even reclaiming that she knows who she is. She is the dreamer. She is the dreamer. Just slow clap, just a slow clap of appraisal and applause and admiration and respect and recognition and acknowledgement and every other positive affirmation I can think of. And in this moment, you know, Nicole really stepped it. She really stepped it up. She really stepped it up, and she really kind of brought onto the story and onto the table like exactly what needed to be brought. She like her calling Maeve out on that stuff was pretty much called for. After all this time, it was pretty much called for, and her actually finally trying to put those kind of tensions and put those kind of pains to rest too. Like, you know, like it or not, I am the dreamer. I am dreamer. You know, and that's exactly who I know I am. And even disregarding her previous comments, like, I don't care about what you think or how you feel, like, you know, this is who I am and I know it. And the people that she loves knows it too. Brainy, Kara, Alex, Kelly, Lena, Jean, like everyone she loves, everyone who's important to her the most in her life knows it, and they affirm her, they love her, they take care of her, they are there for her. They're the people that matter to her, and the people that she matters to, they all know who she is, and they respect it, they acknowledge it, they love her for it and everything. So to her, that's all that there is. To her, that's the priority. Like, to her, that is the priority. Like whether or not Maeve is going to come around in the end is up to her. And I think I think that is also the beauty of the ending too. I think with the ending, that is also the beauty of it too. And I think with the ending, I think that is the resolution I can fully accept too. It's the resolution I at least half expected, but it's also the resolution I can fully accept. Like, Maeve actually finally then actually even her giving Nia the necklace in the final battle against Nixley to actually kill off the Dream Shield, and even Nia versus Nixley too. Like, she really just sent her fully blasting back with like an ultimate dream shield transformed into like a dream blast and everything. Like, her powers in the end there combined with the necklace that Isabel left for Maeve, Nia just again did no wrong. She did no wrong in this episode. She fully brought everything to the table. So I'm hoping what we see from her in the next few episodes can actually be something good and something equally strong and everything. So so that was that stuff. But then I think the final scene between them, the apology scene, I think that again that went as well as I expected, but then it also went the further it went, the more I kind of understood exactly where they were coming from too. I think it had resolutions from both sides too. It had resolutions from both sides and perfectly understandable and perfectly acceptable resolutions from both sides too. Like, actually Maeve finally accepting and acknowledging that she actually let her pain consume her. She let her pain and her grief kind of consume her too much, and she let Nia get her in the process. And then in the end, she was finally able to accept that, Nia is a dreamer, and it's not something to be jealous of. It's not something to try and undermine. It's not something to, be upset at. Like, just because she didn't get the powers, she's like, it's not something for her to actually kind of be envious of or anything like that. Like, disappointments happen. Like sometimes you work really hard for something and you just still don't get it. And it's like, like those kind of disappointments, those kind of failures are just a fact of life. And I think it needed to be a fact that once once Isabel was aware of the fact that she had two daughters, she had to make sure that both of them knew that either one of them could get it. And I think I can't remember if back in season 4 she actually did tell Nia that she knew the entire time that Nia was gonna get it or what happened. But I think by the time she was aware that she had two daughters, I think she had to make both of them aware either one of them could get it. It was just a matter of who, and they both needed to actually respect each other and actually understand whoever got the powers, and then that was it. So. So then by the end of it, Maeve does then finally come to terms with that and understand it, and then she also does actually reaffirm that, she does believe she's a real woman, and she does understand that, that is a huge contributing factor to her being dreamer and to her actually being who she is and everything. And she does finally, she has finally let that pain go and actually allowed her to see, and actually allowed herself to actually be the supportive sister that she was in. Because I think even back in season 4, like in that episode, I keep saying back in season 4, like it didn't really happen anywhere else before then. But even back in that episode, Nia even did say that Maeve was her best friend growing up, and she was actually one of the people who was actually most supportive in their family of Nia's transition and her affirmation of her true identity and everything. So. To then see the tables flipped in that episode too, it just it's just such a heartbreaking thing to see. But then at the end of this one, this one ends again with that much more peace and that much more of a resolution, and her her actually reverting back to the original loving kind of sister that she was, actually reaffirming Nia again, actually reassuring her that she was still her sister, and then she still loved her. Regardless of what powers she did or didn't have. So that kind of resolution, that kind of apology, and that kind of, reclamation and that kind of reaffirmation was really sweet to see on Maeve's side. And everything, and to see her finally being able to actually let that pain go and to not hold on to it anymore was really good. But then also equally good to see was Nia being like, you know what, okay, I mean, I can accept the fact that you apologize, but I can't accept your apology. She can accept her apology, but she just can't really forgive her. She can't forgive her what Maeve did again. Was too much, and exactly. I think the cause for it too. I think the cause did not justify what she did either. Like her not having the powers and her not really getting the powers in the end, no matter how hard she worked to understand them before she got them. Was really no excuse for the way she treated Nia, and even the way Nia said you tore me down, it was actually nothing, all because you didn't really get some magical alien powers in the end. And regardless of how hard you worked for them, it could have just easily been a case of her being happy for Nia and actually using that knowledge to actually help her too. They could have made an amazing team. They could have made a pretty great kind of team together too. Maeve actually instead opting to help her understand her powers and helping her to be the best dreamer that she could be. But then she didn't choose that. Instead she chose pain, and to let her pain consume her and to hurt the people around her and everything. So I think again, like, and I think Nia's kind of choice there also goes to show that people in that position, like anyone in that position or anyone even in a similar position, like, you know, you are not obligated to forgive people. You can accept their apology, and you can accept their apology, and you can accept the fact that they have apologized and that they are taking the necessary steps to be better people again. But in no way are you obligated to actually forgive people. You are not obligated to actually let someone who's hurt you kind of bypass that completely, or you're not obligated to actually forgive and forget just because they've apologized. Like, you know, like them apologizing has to be because they feel that it's the right thing to do, and not just kind of expecting like an acceptance or some kind of bygones be bygones thing on your end. So they handled that kind of that side of the story perfectly, and as well as I could, like, you know, like kind of take it to be. So they both had great resolutions on each individual end, and in the end I think she did say, like, I can't forgive you, but I can definitely offer you a final chance to be sisters again and to actually be accepting and loving and well, like, you know, like, and well versed of each other and everything, and to actually be accepting and everything. So she and Maeve definitely did want to take her up on that offer. She did definitely want to be her sister again and to actually affirm her and to actually love her again and to be there for her again. So that was really sweet to see. And even actually passing down the necklace too. She actually passed down the necklace that their mother gave her. So then I think that necklace also being like the one of the dream, of the Nortorian. I think the Nortorian peace symbol too. Definitely makes sense. She would want to give that to Nia. So yeah, I mean, as the series ends, some peace. As the series ends, some peace between the Knoll sisters, and some peace between them, and some resolution between them, and finally some kind of, you know, some kind of actual kind of, you know, again, just some kind of peaceful ending between them. So I mean, I don't know if that's absolutely the last we'll see of them, but if it is, then I guess that's the best way to end it. That is the best way to end it, to actually have them going through one final adventure together before they finally come to terms and finally actually come to some kind of like a fork in the road and decide to actually, and then peacefully and diplomatically choose which path to take with each other and with or without each other. So, you know, I think Maeve definitely still stayed back in Parthas and back in the university she worked at, but then they could both still go their separate ways, and knowing that hopefully their future could be worked towards in order to be more brighter, and they could go forward knowing that they still somewhat had each other in each other's corners. So either way, it was great. It was really great to see that ending between them. So, you know, hats off to Nicole, and also additional hats off to Hannah James too. Both of them play great, kind of reluctantly, kind of, you know, happy together sisters and everything, but both of them are great friends in real life. So, you know, it would be nice to see any of that love being translated onto the screen in the future, and if we do see her in any future episodes. But I think for the sake of the final season, I think this probably might be the absolute last we'll see of Maeve. So again, I'm happy they gave us that ending between them, and I'm happy they gave us that kind of realistic and equally understandable resolutions between the two of them. So the Knoll sisters are pretty much as reunited as they can be. They're as reunited as they can be, and that is something that we can definitely accept and respect and everything. So props to them. And then, of course, there was the other stuff with the rest of the city and Kara and the Super Friends. Kara, I want to talk about Kara. Kara. Yeah. Pain. Also pain. With Kara, there's also pain. Also pain. This episode was just kind of like pain revisited for Kara and Nia. So, and to see them like not being able to be there for each other directly, also pain. But no, just Kara, just going through it. Kara in her final season, she's still going through it. And I think that with this one, I think the clearest and most, I think clearest and also simplest kind of interpretation of it is that, you know, she she's being torn apart by the whole double lives thing. She's being torn apart by the whole double life thing, and so I think, I think it's also because she's also the one with the job and still like the human life that she has both returned to and is also now fighting to maintain once again. We have seen the effect it has on Kelly. I think blind spots was the effect that it has on Kelly. Blind spots was the actual proper human kind of effect it has on Kelly, like the whole double life thing, but just in like the more kind of strugglesome kind of ways. But then like Alex and John and Brainy, they don't have jobs. They don't live. I mean, they don't live very human lives anymore. I don't know how Alex actually stays alive. Like, she doesn't have a job. I think Brainy definitely doesn't. I think Brainy just kind of, I don't know if he has like a mini Gideon or like a mini like food. I'm thinking of like how they pay for stuff and how they actually eat food, but I really don't know. But I think, yeah, because I can't. I think thinking of how Kara is struggling to maintain her own double life, I just can't imagine how the others get by without one. I think Lena as well. I think she gave up her company. She gave her company over to Lex, so he has that now. So Lena now works full time at the Watchtower too, but the Watchtower doesn't pay the freaking bills. So I don't know what they. I think. I mean, did they reference that before? I think they might have. I mean, they talked about getting public support before. They talked about actually doing things that would actually get them support from the public. So I don't know if that includes funding or something. So, but I think like overall, just kind of like vocal and moral support from the public was just their priority. So I think that kind of is cool. But I think again, I don't know if they're actually being publicly funded or if they're actually being given anything, because I think Jean still used like part of his spaceship to actually build the Watchtower and everything, so there's that. But then keeping it up and running and stuff, I don't know how he does that. The spaceship is his own, so I think maybe he wouldn't need to pay the bills on that, like like stuff like electricity and stuff like that, and like utilities maybe are just powered by the ships. I think he'd be kind of void of those kind of taxes or whatever. But I don't even know. Just thinking about this in a much more realistic way, I'm just wondering how the fuck anything actually ever gets done. And it's like they're investigating something and all of a sudden the power shuts down because they haven't paid their bills or they haven't paid off their internet or something. So I don't know. When you think about it in a more realistic way, I'm pretty sure you are just perpetually confused by how anything actually gets done. But then it is a superhero show, so they just something happens the off screen that they just expect you to accept and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, back to the matter at hand. Kara was struggling with the whole kind of two lives thing, and I think she gets things done as Supergirl. I mean, she fights to get to get things done as Supergirl, and I think she kind of does semi successfully get things done as Supergirl. But then that kind of comes in when she gets things done as Supergirl, or at least she semi successfully gets things done as Supergirl. But then by the time she's done as Supergirl, she is running overtime on Kara Danvers. She's actually running she's running being Supergirl into her time running as Kara Danvers. She's actually failing to meet up at interviews, and she's failing to actually get her journalist work done, and even towards the end of it, actually making Andrea actually question her, kind of question what happened to the Kara Danvers that she knew, because Andrea has faith and stuff in Kara's ability to be a journalist, because she's proven it time and time again that she can produce great work in time. But then now she's she's slacking. She's not really meeting very many deadlines, and even reference the whole cat, referencing the whole Cat Grant thing, you went to work on the story of a lifetime with Cat Grant, but then you came back empty-handed. So then I'm truly wondering, and even actually referencing that whole thing too, you go places without any kind of warning or on short notice and everything, but then she doesn't ask questions, because then she trusts her ability to still get back on time and to come back with something meaningful. But then that doesn't happen, so then Andrea still has to naturally, kind of as her boss, she still has to naturally raise her concerns and everything. So reminds me a lot of Spider-Man. I say that. It's not something exclusive to Spider-Man. I think I would definitely like to think that this kind of stuff happened to Clark too, and it basically happens to any superhero that decides to take on the double identity. It happens to any superhero who takes on two different lives, one normal and one superhero. Anyone who decides to kind of adopt two different identities and actually lead two different lives, it happens to them. At some point, one life starts bleeding into the other, and it just becomes like a crisis and everything. So, soon enough, the question then becomes: can they really handle this? Can they really handle this life? Is one life worth maintaining over the other, and stuff? And then the question becomes even more of that. So yeah, she just kind of failed with the interview stuff, and even like the one where the Prime Minister and the President themselves were late. It turned out, they weren't that late, so they came by, and then no one was here, so they just left. And then Andrea, I think the most anxiety-inducing thing, the most kind of cringy, the cringiest, most anxiety-inducing thing, actually having Kara pull out her phone and seeing 3 missed calls from Andrea, 3 texts from Andrea, 2 missed calls from William, actually wondering where the fuck she's gone. And it's like, oh god, when you see that, when you're meant to attend something and you shot and then you have to actually bypass, or you have to be late, and then you just kind of you get sidetracked or something, and you check your phone, it's just like a ton of missed calls from all the people you're meant to answer to, all the people who are expecting you God, not one of the greatest moments, not one of the greatest kind of things about, you know, human life and everything. So yeah, that then drove Kara on down the path of actually quitting Catco. That then drove the path that then drove her down the path of actually going up to Andrea and being like, you know what, you were right. I'm not here, and I can't be here because the fate of the world is in the balance, and I live in like another life that you know nothing about. And even though Kara knows nothing about Andrea being a Krater, you know, she's like, you know, I live another life that I can't tell you anything about, and you know nothing about, but then that life is also the reason that, you know, the city is safe, but it's also the reason that I'm constantly late and constantly kind of under delivering and slacking behind and everything. So because of that, she's like, you know, she can really, I mean, she can do great things, and she has done great things as Kara Danvers, but I think she herself kind of comes to the conclusion that, you know, she can only really do so much as Kara Danvers. Like Kara Danvers can't single-handedly stop Nixley, but then as Supergirl, she can use her powers, she can use her abilities, and she can actually use those kind of that identity to actually stop much larger crises that come and everything. So she quits Catco. Kara Danvers, after 6 seasons, after 6 whole seasons, she quits Catco. She quits Catco Worldwide Media. So she's no longer a journalist. So yeah, just damn, that is quite the push, quite the turn of the tables, and I think it's also quite the conclusion to come to as well. Like she can't handle this double life, so then she decides to drop the one that she feels is the most limiting and the most kind of constricting and everything, and I think she deep down believes or knows that Supergirl is the one required to fully eradicate the threat of Nixley, and now the returning threat of Lex Luthor too. So, you know, because of that, Kara either has to quit, or Kara has to be put on kind of like the back burner. I mean, Kara Danvers needs to be put on the back burner. Kara Zor-El is the one who wears the cape. She's the one who wears the House of El symbol and has the powers and everything. So Kara Danvers has to take a back seat while Kara Zor-El actually drives the car. For a little bit now, so yeah, I mean, it was it happened very briefly in this. I trust that in the coming episodes they're really gonna explore what that really means for Kara and what that means for her life and the people around her and everything. So like her actually officially leaving. I mean, she quit here. I think it didn't really kind of show any kind of actual official leaving process, like of her actually saying goodbye or her actually leaving in like an actual kind of solidified way. Like she quit and then she walked out the office and then went to visit William as Supergirl and everything. So, and then she went on the news and did the whole apology thing and stuff like that. So I trust that the next episode and maybe the one after that might actually kind of deal with her, you know, being no longer being. I wonder if that. I mean, she quit Catco, but then Catco was also like one of the bigger aspects of her identity as Kara Danvers. So then, if she quits Catco, I'm wondering if that also means that she's also going to quit Kara Danvers too. Like if she's actually going to drop the whole Kara Danvers thing as a whole, because then being human, or at least trying to lead a human life, is actually what's kind of holding her back from being the Supergirl that she needs to be, or at least from being the Supergirl that she stops crime and stops these otherworldly threats and everything. So then I'm wondering, you know, if that's also going to be how the series ends, like with her fully dropping the Kara Danvers thing and actually instead opting to fully embrace the Kara Zor-El identity or something. So I don't know. I think that in itself is like a whole other discussion to be had. But you know, in that sense, I trust in many different aspects. Canary Katie and Abnormally Adam have you guys covered on that with their reactors of Tomorrow podcast and everything. So I'm trusting, you know, anything that I either forget to mention here or don't mention here or just whatever, anything I under discuss or underthink here will be fully evaluated and fully and eloquently evaluated over on their channel with the Reactors of Tomorrow podcast. So go check those out if you haven't already. Those are super duper fun. So yeah, but yeah, I think I really do wonder if that's how the series actually might end, if with Kara dropping not dropping the Danvers side of her, because then she still has Eliza, she still has Alex, she still has them both in her life, so she still has that side of her, but then actually dropping the name, dropping that life, dropping that kind of that side of her that people see. So then she just kind of disappears one day, but then Supergirl comes in full force, she's Supergirl full time and everything. So I do wonder, but I guess, you know, it would be one hell of a way to end the series. Whether or not it's the right way, I think is kind of depending on how you see Supergirl and how you kind of feel that Supergirl is as a character. And I think at the end of the day, I think the most important thing would likely be that it's actually Kara's choice. It's Kara's choice, and I mean, whether or not Kara's choice is consistent that's a whole other fucking matter. That's a whole other matter. But I think at the end of the day, as long as it's Kara's choice and it's something, as long as it's something that she thinks about, in thoroughness and in kind of in like full extent, like as long as it's something that she thinks about and considers to the full extent of her kind of ability to think about a big life kind of change, then I guess it's also something that I can easily respect. I think it's something that almost anyone can easily respect. I think, something that almost anyone can easily respect. And I think, that is the whole point of that being her choice, the fact that, she can choose who she wants to be. And even if that changes compared to what she wanted seasons and seasons ago when threats were lesser and threats were easy to handle, if she feels like the way to end off the story is to be Kara Zor-El fully and thoroughly, then again, I guess we just have to wait and see how that. I think we just have to wait and see how that actually gets executed and how that actually gets kind of fully embellished and how that actually kind of gets achieved for her and how she actually strives to achieve that and stuff. So, yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see. But yeah, Kara quit Catco and she's now Supergirl once again. So, yeah. And then all the stuff with the dome, they set up a dome using the dome settings on the L Corp satellites and everything. Lena reverting back to her cool tech skills to use the satellites to be able to initiate a dome over the city. And I mean, I think the only real thing that really kind of that I feel really kind of validates or justifies the city's response is the fact that they're trapped in there with a nightmare creature that's invisible and everything. I think besides from that, I think the dome is see-through. It's not like a dome of darkness where you can never see the light of day again and you're just trapped there eternally, not knowing what happens. I mean, it's gonna hurt small businesses like the poor coffee vendor that just got sliced in half from the dome and everything. It's gonna hurt them, but then still, I think people kind of complain that the people that the governor said were complaining could never see their families again, or were worried about that could happen. It is see-through. You can meet them at like some kind of halfway point and actually see through them. And I think it's also it's very clearly a temporary measure. Like there was no indication that this was going to be lasting for centuries on end, and that they were never going to be able to touch or hug or do anything like that again. So I think the dome was very clearly also like a temporary measure to keep the enemy contained until they could actually find a way to send it back to where it came from, and Monster Inc. style, get that thing back where it came from. Well, you also helped me and everything, so again, very clearly a temporary measure to a growing kind of threat, a growing and very, very imminent kind of threat. So I think the way the city responded, the way the governor responded, the way the city responded, actually calling in the National Guard and the freaking Air Force to shut down the dome, I think people just, I think especially the governor just refused to understand, again, this is just a temporary solution until they can find a way to send it back. And then even their first thought initially being, oh, okay, we'll help, we'll just come in and bring some freaking attack choppers with machine guns and try and shoot the thing down, even though the Supergirl and her friends have told us that bullets won't harm it, we'll just throw bullets anyway, because that's exactly what we do for a living. So that whole just so much of that kind of stuff just kind of just confused and agitated me. Okay, well, they've told you they're working on this and they're working on a solution. This isn't your everyday kind of terrorist attack or kind of robbery gone wrong. This isn't just your everyday crime. This is literally a creature from another dimension intent on harming you. And if they let the dome go down, it's going to go straight after the nuclear power plant, and then you're going to have a whole host of other problems on your hands. So this is really the lesser of two bad situations. So I think you just give them time to come up with a solution, and then they do it. So then sometimes I feel like the kind of general public and the public response in these kinds of stories are always the kind of public kind of holding superheroes up to kind of fairly unrealistic standards and actually expecting them to perform miracles when really it takes time to save the world and actually takes time to actually come up with real probable and in proper workable solutions and everything. So then it's oh, you're superheroes, you can do anything, so just you got 5 seconds, or in this case 12 hours, but it's you're 5 seconds now, take the monster away and make our lives better again. But then it's no, we're superheroes because we can do the things we do, but then that doesn't mean that it takes less time. It just sometimes it does, and then they get lucky and it's an easy solution, but then other times it's no, it's gonna take time, and we ask that you be patient while we work to save your freaking lives. So you know, a little bit of cooperation wouldn't be too bad. And then of course they bring in the choppers and then they shoot the monster, but then even some of the bullets become strays and then they hit the machine that's actually going to solve all their problems. And it's like, no, we're just going to shoot it down and hope that the our very, very special and very, very clearly magical, magic combating bullets actually work. So yeah, no, maybe I'm reading too much into that, but I mean, I don't really think I'm reading too much into that, but I think, it's still like, I think it's an understandably kind of, it's an intentionally kind of aggravating situation where it's like you're meant to be annoyed at the way that they're reacting, and you're meant to be semi-annoyed at the way that kind of situation at the way that kind of situation is escalating. So so yeah, that stuff happened too. And Nixley's suit too. Nixley had like a whole kind of suit with what I thought was an AI. Like I initially fully took it to be some kind of AI that was somehow based off of her, even though Lex had never met her. So he just kind of like either took a guess or he kind of analyzed her and maybe studied her in battle and actually found out like who she was and how she worked, and then maybe created like an AI. But then even as time went on, and even the way that she said it would like she wasn't just a voice, and even in the end like her saying that, I don't know. Given the fact that Lex materialized at the end, given the fact that Lex himself materialized at the very end, I'm kind of guessing maybe he did maybe it was like a voice modulator, maybe it was like a voice kind of modulator thingy, maybe it was like his voice but then modulated to sound like Nixley, so then his voice modulated to sound like Nixley, so that then she would be able to listen to a voice that she trusts, because she trusts herself and she trusts her like her own voice talking back to her. So then maybe in that case it's easier to get through to her and then to actually tell her to do things. So then the entire episode is her just actually getting the dream totem, and she even got the dream totem in the end. So then her getting the dream totem and her giving it to the suit, and then Lex himself being materialized. I don't know where he went. I don't know where he went or what happened to him that he ended up only being able to be revived by the dream totem. But then, it's Lex, so he must have done something shady or creepy or wrong or something, or he must have gotten something wrong, and then he needed Nixley to rebuild him or something. So I don't know, but in the end, Nixley managed to manifest Lex again, so now they're both back. And they're both going to be causing trouble, so it's going to be super duper fun seeing how that kind of comes into play, so that should be fun. But yeah, that is pretty much all I got. From this episode. Again, a great Nia-centric episode. Great one. Nicole Maines smashing it out of the park, just hitting a home run, hitting multiple home runs with each kind of scene that she produces with Hannah James and with everyone else that she really only worked with Hannah James in this one, besides from also Nixley's actress very temporarily too. But either way, Nicole Maines smashed it, Hannah James smashed it. Everyone else like in their respective kind of storylines and in their respective scenes also really aced it. So a really fun episode in that sense. So can't wait to see what is coming up next in these final fewer episodes. Like as each episode goes by, and just the final fewer episodes of Supergirl. So I'm not ready for the end. It goes without saying, I am not ready for the end. But the end we must reach. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this one. So looking forward to seeing how the story continues and how we continue to battle Nixley and now the new grown-up kind of Lex Luthor threat. So fun times ahead. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this one. So that was Supergirl Season 6, Episode 16. So thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Supergirl. Once again, the full-length reaction over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.